During the late 90s and early 2000s, Timbaland was the man behind so many great artists, including Aaliyah and Genuine. But one name that rarely gets any recognition is Georgia rapper Bubba Sparxxx. He entered the music scene in 2001 with the Timbaland-produced track Ugly. In just a few short years, he made albums that topped the charts, all while battling a substance abuse issue and multiple stints in rehab. Here's what really happened to his career. Warren Anderson Mathis was born on March 6, 1977, on a farm near LaGrange, Georgia. His early years were spent playing football in high school, but when a college athletic career didn't pan out, he decided to pursue music. He moved to Athens, Georgia in 1996 and was introduced to so-so-def producer Shannon Houchins through a mutual acquaintance. His style, which was influenced by the rural music his parents listened to, and his newfound love for NWA and 2 Live Crew, helped Bubba perfect his debut album, entitled Dark Days, Bright Nights. The album was released independently in 1999. Music lovers fell in love with his mixture of country and rap sounds, and Bubba caught the attention of Interscope Records. He eventually signed with Interscope, and he worked alongside Atlanta production team Organized Noise and Swizz Beatz for an official re-release of the album. Those studio sessions failed to produce a single that would help Bubba become a mainstream star. So Interscope introduced Bubba to Timbaland, and Timbaland signed Bubba to his Beat Club imprint. With Timbaland's help, Bubba created the song Ugly, and his debut album was certified gold. All Bubba wanted to do was prove to the world that a white guy could represent Georgia and represent hip-hop, and he was well on his way to doing so. He was on top of the world, and his new lifestyle meant he could afford all the things he always dreamed of. Bubba told Vice website he bought a house in Atlanta, purchased a lot of cars, and had a lot of people on his payroll. Slowly, his life began to unravel. He told Vice he would take prescription pills in social settings, but then he went on a trip to Canada and was involved in a snowmobile accident. He broke his shoulder and his doctor prescribed more pills. Bubba said he became addicted and his life was pushed over the deep end. His substance abuse issues also began to affect his career. Bubba said he let Timbaland down in a lot of ways. He said, "He asked me to do certain things in order to maintain a working relationship, and in the depths of my addiction, I couldn't do that." Bubba managed to release another Timbaland-produced album entitled Deliverance in September 2003. This time, he combined rap with country and southern rock. The album received great reviews, but it only sold 400,000 copies, which at the time was deemed a commercial failure. Timbaland decided it was time to revamp his Beat Club record label by signing more rock bands, but Interscope wanted Timbaland to keep things more urban. As tension built up between Timbaland and Interscope, Bubba said he saw the writing on the wall and knew the partnership with the two companies wouldn't last. Eventually, Bubba was dropped from Interscope, and with nowhere to turn to, he reached out to his friend Big Boy from Outkast. Big Boy told Bubba he was launching a label called Purple Ribbon under Virgin Records, and he wanted Bubba to be a part of it. Bubba signed on in 2004, and he went to work right away. His bills were piling up, and he desperately needed another hit. He and his good friend Timbaland worked together on one track, but Bubba knew he needed something more. He linked up with hitmaker Mr. Collie Park, who linked Bubba up with the Yin Yang Twins for the track Miss New Booty. After hearing the finished product, Bubba said to himself, "Oh my God, this is a smash." And he was right. The song was featured on his third studio album, The Charm, which hit stores in April 2006. The album peaked at number 9 on the Billboard rap chart, but it had very low sales. Bubba later told Vice that Miss New Booty was a gift and a curse. The song was profitable enough for Bubba to pay his bills, but he said if he had known that would be his last opportunity to speak to music fans, he wouldn't want "I Found You, Miss New Booty" to be the last thing we heard from him. At the height of Miss New Booty, Bubba recognized he had a problem. His best friend went to treatment, and Bubba himself was deep within his own addiction. He told BuzzFeed he was miserable. He didn't care about how he looked or how he presented himself as a musician. He was still able to handle his business for the most part, but he would go through withdrawals that would make him extremely sick. He told Vice he knew he wouldn't make it if he didn't change the way he was living. So instead of going out on tour and making hundreds of thousands of dollars, he decided to check into rehab. Upon finishing his treatment, he moved to Tampa to get away from Atlanta's party scene. He also left Virgin Records and created his own label distributed through One Records called New South Entertainment. He released a mixtape in 2007 and managed to stay clean for a while, but eventually he fell right back into his addiction. He told Vice that Tampa had way more gentlemen's clubs than Atlanta, and once he started partying again, his sobriety became a thing of the past. Just 9 months after moving to Tampa, he relapsed. He went through a cycle of being sober only to fall off the wagon many times. So he headed back to rehab again. The years passed by and Bubba completely disappeared from the limelight, up until May 2009 when he visited a Hooters restaurant in Clearwater, Florida. An off-duty officer spotted someone handing Bubba what appeared to be substances. After authorities arrived, they searched the rapper and found Transine in his possession, a pill used to treat anxiety. Since he didn't have a prescription, he was locked up on a possession charge and was later released on $2,000 bail. Bubba later told BuzzFeed, even though the charges were dropped 2 weeks later, it was one of the most embarrassing moments in his life. His face was plastered all over the news and gossip websites, and he was upset by how much he disappointed his mom. Feeling shameful about what happened, he checked into rehab once again. In August 2009, he made a major change by leaving Tampa and moving to a farm in Georgia. He didn't record any music. He just took care of his cows and maintained his fish pond. He told BuzzFeed, "I would still go do shows, but I was really just taking it easy." His free time was spent going to therapy and nurturing himself. He discovered exercise and lifting weights, and working out became his new addiction. After feeling better about himself mentally and physically, and dropping a bunch of weight, he headed back to the studio in 2012. Even though he was in a much better place, his finances were still in shambles. In June 2012, TMZ reported Bubba not only owed $30,000 in back taxes to the state of Georgia, but he owed almost 10 times that amount to the federal government. He told TMZ his money issues were due to him having a good time and neglecting his business. So he hired a group of professionals and accountants who were going to help him get everything in order. In 2013, he signed with Backroad Records and released his fourth album, Pain Management, which reached number 40 on the country chart. In 2014, he began dating Miss Iowa beauty queen Katie Connors and released his fifth album, Made on McCosh Mill Road. Bubba also found a new career as songwriter for country musicians based out of Nashville. Bubba said his life in Nashville was really structured. He would wake up, meet with 2 other songwriters, knock out a track, have a beer, and go home. Although he loved the time he spent in Georgia, Nashville was more his speed. He told Vice, "In Atlanta, everyone's turned up all the time. In Nashville, people kick back and have a conversation." In 2016, he and Katie got engaged after 2 years of dating. Their big day was planned for May 21st, 2016 at a venue in Nashville. Save the dates were mailed to more than 400 friends and relatives, and according to TMZ, the wedding had a $100,000 price tag. But as of this video, their relationship is over and Katie is engaged to someone else. Bubba released his 6th album, Rapper from the Country, in 2018 through his own label. And in 2019, he partnered with a distribution company. He launched an entertainment label called 25/8 and released the song Please in October 2019. Bubba finally has his life back on track professionally. While music is his first love, he's now focused on spreading his wings in the entertainment industry. In 2019, he had a starring role in the film The Auctioneer, which was executive produced by Jeezy. We wish him success with all of his future projects, whether he's rapping, songwriting, or acting. The sky's the limit for this Georgia native. Let us know your thoughts on Bubba Sparxx's music career, and thanks for watching Real Reality Gossip.